Ulembe Nation, whether locally here or in the diaspora, there seems to be a denominator that you can actually pick out people from this ecosystem, how many people are actually economically free. And so we had a lot of sharing why this happens. And then today we have decided we'll do a structure of creating a vehicle towards financial freedom. And then tomorrow, I believe it is, we'll then look at how to do a collective action plan, but also individual action plans and accountability, since a team is always as strong as their weakest link. So it is important, and personally, I am very, very heavy on individual responsibility. And so today, as we begin the journey, I have calculated, as I think I shared on Monday, that because I am not extremely conversant with the personas that are on this call, so I will try and move from end to end. What I mean is, it is always important to know who the students are, so that the information is customized to meet or to be of great value to them. So this is a rundown of the different levels that we use to train as far as our 10x, what we call the 10x growth mindset. So first we have the student, and the student is someone who is there about between 0 to 20 years. So this is a person who basically could still be under guardianship in terms of parents, or maybe even you have students in your own homes or your own houses. So this is a student. You will agree with me that their needs are slightly different from possibly the people on board here. There could be a student on board here. Then next is the employee. This is someone, whether in the private or public sector, you are employed. And then the next is self-employed. So you may not be in an organization or an entity, but you are running your own thing. We can call you an entrepreneur, or we can call you a professional. So you're self-employed, and the category is wide. Then next is you're a business owner. You're a business owner, basically you have a system and people working for you. You have either a system or people working for you. You don't necessarily have to show up at the place of your business operation for that operation to continue. So from possibly you own a hotel, or you own rental facilities, or you own a school, or you own a hospital, or you own a factory, or you own a bank. So you're a business owner. You could actually yourself be employed elsewhere, but you actually also have a business that does not need you individually to be physically there, or to be in the day-to-day running of that entity to have that business operating successfully. And then last but not least, you could be an investor. You could be an investor. That means your game is your money works for you. You don't necessarily need people. All you need is to put your money where it can multiply. Then again, you could be a small investor, medium, or large. Now, if you're looking at the large investors, the kind of the Warren Buffetts of this world, where their game is to pick out high yielding, high return spaces and place their money there so it can multiply. Or if you're in our local scene, maybe you're the kind of person who will put money into government bonds, or you'll go to the money markets or to the stock exchange and place your money there. And again, as Madam Chair, and I guess SG has also shared, you could also do it as a corporation or an entity like this organization, where you agree, instead of experimenting on your own finances, you look for portfolios that are already proven and stable that you can place your money on. So you could either buy shares, whether it's from Safaricom, whether it is from Kenya Airways, or any one of the listed companies or public interest at the stock exchange. You could extend that and also look at other stock exchanges. For example, currently in Africa, Rwanda seems to be doing well, at least the last time I checked. There's a time also Johannesburg was doing well, Cape Town was doing well, or you could go offshore and maybe try Dubai. I see Dubai are really fishing for investors in their real estate portfolio. It seems to be one of the drivers in Dubai is real estate and hospitality. Or you could go further west and go to the London Stock Exchange or go to the New York Stock Exchange. The advantage of the time and day we are in is such that because of technology of things, it is very easy for you to gather information and also have experts trade on your behalf. Then, of course, now you have the Bitcoins, and the virtual assets where you can also invest in those kinds of vehicles. So both at an individual level and at a corporate or an organizational community corporate level, you can have investments done. Then locally here, of course, we have banks where you can put your money there. We also have insurance policies that you can place your money there, and from their different investment portfolios, you could do that. So that's just a broad share. This must be common knowledge to most of us, a broad sharing of ways in which we can generate income. And today's session, as I said, and I like what Madam Chair said, I like for us to be interactive. Why is this important? Especially in the Mulembe Nation. You see, the thing about the Mulembe Nation, one of the greatest things about the Mulembe Nation is that we have great teachers and administrators. Mulembe Nation has great teachers and administrators. The only weak link from the Mulembe Nation is that we then become highly theorists and not practitioners. You get someone who is very good in business in terms of academia, or accounting in terms of academia, but very little in terms of the investment or business vehicles they have created to generate or to create wealth. So today's session, I want us to we looked at the money mindset. In a summary, what we were trying to do scripturally is to say you cannot pour new wine in old wineskins. That means the kind of mindsets we have. And if you've grown in Western Kenya, you'll agree with me, other than maybe the Nzoia sugar and the maize that happens commercially in Kitale, which I know even most of it is not owned by people from the Mulembe Nation, other than Pan Paper, which died, we have very few commercial instruments in Western Kenya. And so by the time, if you're like me, by the time you go to primary school, mostly if you went to Western Kenya, it's just an unfair assumption that not everyone actually went there. By the time you're coming out of high school, you have very little experience in terms of commercial sense and money and financial intelligence and empowerment. And so like myself, I shared here last Monday that I navigated even in the corporate space. And you find that maybe you're earning even upwards of 250K per month back in the day, close to 500,000 shillings a month. But someone else who has financial literacy and earns way less. I had people who are earning even 50K. 5 to 10 years later, these people had created far much more wealth than I did, simply because I was financially illiterate. I had the cash flow passing in my hands, but I was financially illiterate. And I wondered why. Because one thing at least I established of myself is that I am kind-hearted, I am working, I am a hard worker, but how come sina pesa? How come of my peers, I am the only one who is struggling in debt? And so I looked around in my family, that means my siblings, my relatives, We all had the same issue. And the funny thing is, some of our parents, some of our relatives were high flying professionals in the corporate sector, in the public sector in the country. So you have someone is a doctor, someone is a lawyer, another headmaster, lakini wakimaliza, when they are retiring, there is very little to show in terms of wealth creation. At least I can give it up to them that one thing they pursued was to ensure their children gained at least either O level, A level, or at least a first degree. That one you have to give to people in Western Kenya. But as far as creating financial instruments, ni wewe mwenyewe tu, unless you are mentored along your way in life, you'll find that if I was to compare, do a comparative analysis from a guy from Western Kenya, and I pick another guy from Mount Kenya, I pick a guy from Kisii, I pick some Somali here in Nairobi, I pick an Arab and an Indian, the guy from Western Kenya, by probability, is probably at the tail end in terms of financial freedom. And so today, yeah, we looked at the money mindset. I was just giving a recap. So we have half an hour then that we want to break down and say what kind of system is there available today in the world. And I was sharing with someone today that just after COVID, there's been about 3 interfaces since the year 2000 that globally have shifted the financial markets in the world. So there was the pre-2000, the typewriter generation. That's the Gen X's, you are there. That era ended. That was the Moi era. It had a different financial system. Then you come to about 2010, when we were talking about the dot-com generation and people were putting money in all kind of dot-com financial instruments. It ended at about 2010. Then we picked up slightly with the digital media, kidogo kidogo, until 2020 when COVID hit. Then immediately after COVID, the world has changed exponentially more than it has done in the last 250 years. But the only unfortunate thing is very few people are alive. They may have a knowledge, they can even describe for you that it has changed. But when it comes to how practically they are living their life, they are still living in the pre-COVID financial system, which currently is either on its knees or it is dead. And because of this one thing, the post-COVID financial instruments is creating more millionaires and billionaires than any other time on earth. But unfortunately, very few people are on that bandwagon. Let me put a comma with the AI, artificial intelligence, that is now rapidly shifting the economics world. If you're a follower of current news, you'll tell that already it has been predicted that in the next, we are talking months, 12 to 24 months, global jobs are going to be lost globally because of AI. So the question to us is, are we ready for this new phenomenon? And it is so unforgiving. I've been trying to, some people have sent me a few proposals to check out, and the whole interface of interaction, things you had to talk to people, etc., has shifted. Everything is being handled by AI. So if you are not using AI in every area of your life today, you are going to be left behind. You are literally going to be left behind. There is no area of life, whether you're a pastor, a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, a teacher, that is not going to be disrupted by AI. So it is important for us to be alive and awake to this new phenomenon that is changing our world today. So Leo, we want to see, before I move forward, I like getting feedback. I'd like to know, maybe just by dropping a chat on a word on the chat, because I know some people last time had network issues. I'd like to know, of the about 4 to 5 categories I listed, which one are you? Are you a student? Are you employed? Are you self-employed? Are you an entrepreneur? Are you a business owner? or are you an investor? Kindly just share on the wall so that in the next 15 to 20 minutes, we can customize what we'll share based on who is on this platform. And Madam Secretary General, I can give you maybe 30 seconds, 40 seconds just to assist me pick out some people so that we can know what is the bias on the platform today, so that what I share in the next 15 minutes can be of great value, because all my sharing is always dependent on who am I talking to. I train from 5-year-olds to 70-year-olds, so depending on who I'm talking to, it determines what I have to share. I see someone has said, was that Raphael, an employee and SME? Let's share. Just type in which category are you. Are you a student? Are you an employee? Are you self-employed? Are you an entrepreneur? Are you a business owner, or are you an investor? Madam Secretary General, assist. Eric, thank you very much. You are an employee. Great.
Namalwa.
Yes, yes, I can see. Thank you so much, Fred. Sarafin is a bit held up in a meeting, so members, let us follow. Let us respond so that it's easier for Fred to pick up. It is an interactive discussion. So tusonge, naona Windows, naona National anasema employee. Hey, employee ndio mwenye kuandikwa ama ndio mwenye kuandika? Let us keep it up. Fred, you can proceed. Sorry.
Let's have two. Thank you so much, Madam Chair. Let's have two more people. Self-employed. Thank you, Ms. Maureen Nandwa. One more person. So we have a bias on employees on the wall. It doesn't matter. You could be an employee, but you're an employee of Elon Musk, earning more than an investor in Kenya. So no shame. You could be an employee, but they say it is better to be. Thank you, Wanjala Bellis, employee. Great. None of the above. Susan, thank you very much. So, great. So, self-employed. Susan, thank you very much. Great. So, then the angle of us sharing today is how can we secure our financial future. And also, even if you're employed and you're working for someone, how can you ensure that what we call, how do you 10x your income? So that means you are either going to position yourself, if you are maybe, let me use the word, if you're on salary, if you're on payroll. Thank you, Alfeno. Thank you, employee and entrepreneur. Mwenye kuandikwa. Winners, thank you. So, self-employed, Mr. Wekesa, thank you. So, what we want to find out is, Kelele, someone. Right. So what we want to find out is, how do we then position ourselves to the extent that we can 10x our income? That means we can create wealth. And I'll be coming from an angle of your target. We said on Monday, in our system, the 10x system, what we do, we encourage our students or our mentees to set a financial target. You must work with a financial target, whether you're employed or not. Now, the importance of this financial target, it is so psychological that if you set this financial target and you focus on that target, then you cut off any other options other than to hit that target. So let me give an example. I'll throw in a few figures. Say you're earning a salary of 50,000 per month, and you need to have a target end of the year. How much money do you want to keep after expenses? Because I know the way we have been mentored or cultured is kaende. The way things come, or my Korean bosses used to say, ke sera sera in Africa, whereby you just live as things come, right? You just live as things come. Sasa Mungu akikubariki na 50K, your expenses on average are 70K, right? Even if you are earning 100K, your expenses are 120K. If you're earning 500K, your expenses are there, or rather your cash out is there 600K. Therefore, what do we do to ensure that at the end of the month, because each one of us here is a CEO, and you are a CEO of a company called you, or a company called me. So if you are not able to make a profit December 31st, useme how much money came in, how much money left, and how much money I have remaining, not just for your business, but for yourself as an entity, then we need to put a question mark there. We need to put a question mark. And it is okay, even if you've been in a season where money, you've not been able. Thank you, Raphael. Thank you, Sacco Savings and Micro. Great. So if you are not every year on 31st December able to account of how much money came in, how much money went out, and how much money remained, then we need to put a question mark there and create a class just for you. Because the tendency in human nature, and let me break it down, because I'm a passionate student of the black race, because I globally do studies on the black race, African Americans, people from the South American and the global South. And there's this psychological construct that because I am in an area of poverty, why do you expect me to account? Ama unataka nitoe wapi pesa? You see the environment, or the environment I'm working or operating or I'm living in. It is, if I was living in UK, US, Dubai, then I will give you account. But I live in Kenya. You see the economy the way it is. How do you expect me to make money? That is the narrative we need to break. Before we talk about I want to put money in the matatu or in a hotel or wherever, if you don't break that foundation, you will keep recycling seasons of pain and poverty over and over. You need to de-yank yourself from that an analogy that because I'm in, either I'm unemployed or I am self-employed, I cannot come up with a target. You need to come with a very ambitious target that necessitates a new version of you to emerge to hit that target. Because you will never achieve that target in this version that you are right now. And so the goal is, by end of tomorrow, through Madam Chair and Secretary General and the Secretariat, we need each one of us to have come up with a target for yourself, and then through the leadership for this Mulembe Unified, and say this is the target we are going to hit. We will not change the target. The target changes us. Say for example right now, if you say ninataka kufunga mwaka na 30K, after nimelipa expenses, hata nimetoa pesa ya Christmas, everything nimepeana senje huko na makazi, nimelipia huyu fee, I need 30K set aside. That target has to remain. You can 10x that target to 300K. It needs to remain 300K. You can 10x it to 3 million shillings. It needs to remain 3 million. You can make it 30 million, 300 million, or 3 billion. Make sure your target is firm as you are supposed to sit for your final exams. Is the same way you need to have passion on that target. That target is determining your future more than your KCSE or even maybe your PhD results. So you need to have such a religious relationship with the financial target that you set, and let that target change you, who you are. Otherwise, the first rule of financial success is commitment to that target. If you don't have that commitment to that target, you will allow any excuse to get you off the hook. You will allow any excuse to get you off the hook. You will allow, oh, when Ruto gets out, then I will. You will allow only if Raila becomes president, then I will. If Donald Trump reinstates USA, then we will. No, 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 no. Make sure you hold that target passionately, because your life and your children depend on it. I said on Monday that in the scriptures, for most of you who are religiously inclined or students of scripture, that Jesus taught more about money than heaven and hell combined. Jesus taught about money more than he did not just heaven, not just hell, but heaven and hell combined. Because he knows we live on an economic planet. We live on an economic planet. So the first foundation, nyumba inajengwa na msingi. Weka msingi kwamba even if you say it is 10,000 shillings you will have saved na sitaguza by December 31st. If you don't have discipline on that, let us end this call now, because it will not happen. So the first thing I encourage us, just a recap, naona hata leo sijaanza kufunza leo, I am stuck on that. Please do not say what good can come out of Nazareth. Unajua tungekuwa Rwanda is possible, tungekuwa UK is possible, lakini let's be honest, Mr. Fred, tuko Kenya, tuko Bungoma, tuko Kitale, tuko Trans Nzoia tuko Busia, Vihiga, usituongeleshe mambo ya targets. That is why, unless you change your mindset, as a man thinketh in his heart sio ya kupump blood, heart is your subconscious. As you think in your subconscious, wherever you focus, so are you. So number one, break that mindset and come up with individual target and a group target, na inakuwa liwe liwalo. The way Donald Trump amesema he is achieving his goals and he will run through anything to hit it, because becoming wealthy is one of the most difficult things you'll ever do in your life. That's why few become wealthy. So if you want to become wealthy, the first thing you need is commitment. You must get a target and fix it. It has to be like that. If it's not like that, you must be very disciplined. You, even to your associations. I'm not saying same way when your child is unafanya nini hapa, you should be studying. You will make that money. But the first thing is set a target. By kesho, please, kila mtu, mimi nataka hata ukisema itakuwa 15,000 ama 10,000, we are not talking millions. Nataka tu kidogo kidogo. If you're in the level of millions, we thank God we will get there. Lakini step by step, come with a target na useme liwe liwalo. I'm talking about something I had to painfully. Unfortunately, human nature, unless pain is introduced to us, we seldom move. We already know what needs to be done, but we seldom act. And that's why I said in the beginning, utapata watu wa Mlembe theory, tukienda matanga ama Christmas, kuongea tutaongea, we need to do this, unajua kuna nguo kutoka China ama kuna matatu, but practicality is lacking. But theory tutapiga mpaka asubuhi.
Najua mwalimu, sisi Waluya, let me interject. Najua sisi Waluya theory tuko sawa, lakini sasa hapo kwa kuaminiana ndio tuko na shida. Kila mtu aweke tu kila siku shilingi 100 mpaka ifike 10,000 wewe. Hapo I think ndio tuko na shida sana kama Waluya. Yani trust, our level of trust is just zero for majority. I think the community is like that, and that is where we go wrong. Even for ourselves. Unajua ile discipline ya pesa kusema kweli kwa Waluya kidogo iko chini.
I hear you, and I think we had that discussion kwamba the narrative ambayo ninaamini tutavunja ni kwamba utapata Fred heri aende asaidie Omondi ama Karanja ama Kipto, lakini kikuja kwa Wekesa nitampa story. It is something we need to lead from the front. We need to lead from the front and break that dragon on its back. And what you say, Madam Chair, cuts across. It is social, it is political, it is financial in all our spaces that we have such unfortunate mistrust. We could be easily, numerically, if it was to go by numbers, we should be number 1 or number 2 in Kenya. But because of just what you said, Madam Chair, we are lagging behind. Even communities from Nyanza who don't even have half our numbers are doing or are getting a bigger bargain in spaces of power than we do. But that's why we are here today. I believe in any situation, God will always raise a small number. Umeona vile mko wachache hapa. God does not need many. Ni wachache with commitment. We will break that dragon. And this is our time. I like Umona. I've written a book about my story, and I'm a follower of global politics, geopolitics news. The people in the US, Trump and his cronies are saying, what are they going to leave for their children? That's why wamesema liwe liwalo. They are going to enforce deportation. They are going to enforce tariffs, because now they are not even thinking about them. They are thinking about their children. Wataambia hawa watoto nini? So we need also remnants from Mulembe who say, yes, watu wamefanya makosa. I mean, there's been a vacuum, I guess, since Wamalwa Kijana.
Hello. I'm still in the office. Yes. So you're saying you're not seeing the link? I'd sent the specific link that we edited, but you want the whole one on email. It's named. Okay, the email. So you're saying you haven't gotten the email. Hello, I'm getting you. Kidogo tu hivyo. Eva, sorry. Do you know what happened? I started writing the email. Ndio hiyo imekuja. Niambie kama umepata. So the link that I've sent you is the specific video that we edited. Yeah. Yes. Okay, fine. Ukipata nipigie alafu confirm.
Look for leadership. go sell ice cream, right? So anyway,
Absolutely.
yes. So ninaona muda wetu unaenda, lakini I hope hiyo point imeingia nyumbani. So since we are mostly say self-employed and employed here, what we need then to to consider is, as a corporate entity, we put in tenets of that rule of discipline, and one for all and all for one, to achieve this mandate. Within the last, let me say, 25 years, I've been in so many chamas za familia, chamas za mingi, and it is like a revolving door. If you were to do forensic audit of chamas, especially let's say from Africa, but from Western Kenya as a template, the stories are same. Maybe just different shades, but the whole story is the same. That's why personally, as a trainer of the mindset, I am very keen to ensuring that it is not how much money. If you get the principle right, if you put the values right, you will achieve what you want. It's not even about how much money. So, for me, with 4 minutes left on this time, I think even if I didn't say much, I hope that we have driven that point home, that from an individual level, let us put that commitment in place, that we will be the outcome we want to see. And yes, there are things that need to be done externally, but it is my internal environment that needs to dictate my outcomes. And so I have said, number one, let us as a group come up with a target, and then individually come up with individual targets, that even if your employer is not able to give you that, through Madam Chair and the Secretariat and SG, I'll be proposing, we'll propose some trainings that will help members, first of all, to understand how to journey the financial walk, whether you're unemployed, you're a housewife, you are a retiree, whether you're a student. We need a time of, in terms of how do we individually help people to operate from where they are and 10x their income, because the biggest barometer of your financial indicator is your financial statement. So how does your income statement look like? How does your balance sheet look like? And how does your cash flow look like? What are your instruments, asset instruments that you have? So that financial literacy is a training that I'll be proposing to Madam Chair and the rest of the team. Like I said, this is just an appetizer. Let me call it that. This is just an appetizer, and I hope that I hope that we will be able to produce a small material for members of Mulembe, customized, because it will be customized to where the members are today, so that we can also create accountability parameters in terms of timelines. So for example, I see there's Raphael or Maureen or Susan, and Susan will say, my goal is to maybe save 100,000 in the next 6 months. Then we will come around her and customize something for her, and also looking both in the micro and macro, seeing her situation and saying, what can we do to help Susan achieve that goal? That is number one. And number two, as a corporate then, what instruments can Mulembe Unified participate in, that it will ensure it has the kind of wealth creation for itself as an entity and for the members. Ladies and gentlemen, ninaona ni kama tu nilikuwa nafanya introduction of the session. Madam Chair, it is 8:59. I want to put a comma there and return to you so we can get maybe feedback. We've not even done justice to the topic we wanted to do, but I believe I walk by the Spirit and I allow the Spirit to push me the direction it wants. And maybe we can take a few Q&A, and then we can land this ship. So tomorrow we can land it even with a deeper surgery of the topic. Madam Chair, please.
Thank you so much, Fred. You've done us so well. We are so humbled. I think members, we all agree that actually we needed this kind of training and discussion so that it can juggle our mind, because actually money is the aspect of everything, whether it is evil or good, it is all centered around money. But just to go through the messages, the messages that people have been throwing in. Raphael amesema behavior change is the ultimate goal. Absolutely, I agree. Then Susan anasema time is too short. It's cutting out short, the intake coming. Susan, ndio tumeanza, usijali. Ndio tumeanza, my sister, we gonna do better and best. Raphael is proposing for a physical meeting. That is good. Raphael, we are going to Trans Nzoia chapter, so make sure that you pay your 1,500 in Mapema, so that you take the front seat, because Fred is one of our guest speakers on that day. So members, I want to allow you to come in and ask questions or also share in your views. Inua tu mkono, then I'll call your name. I give you 1 minute uchangie mjadala wa siku ya leo. Please just raise your hand. Finya mkono pale chini so that I'm able to call your name. Okay, Raphael anasema Trans Nzoia chapter ikiwa weekend alavel. Of course my brother, sisi wote ni watafutaji, lazima iwe weekend. Anyone else? Wengine mwenye ana swali ama maoni, tafadhali just raise your hand because we are out of time.
Madam Chair, if there's no question, maybe they can put the questions and send either to you directly, and then it can be sent to me. Then we can start with that tomorrow as we begin the session.
Sawa, that is in order. So guys, iwapo una swali ama ungependa, if you have something that you'd like Fred to tackle or just to share insights, please get in touch. You can inbox me on WhatsApp or message so that I'm able to forward to him. Yeah, but this conversation is, we continue with the same conversation tomorrow, same time, same place, same link, so that we can keep learning and start doing the right things on matters pertaining finances. Kwa hayo mengi na machache, let me request someone to pray for us. Wacha nione. Susan, kindly, please pray for us. You've been one of our active members. Thank you so much, Susan. Keep it like that, please. Give us a word of prayer so that we can end our discussion for tonight.
Hello, we are called Susan. Sijui ni mgani.
Wewe Susan.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Let's trust and believe in our God. Jehovah God. Everlasting Master. I hope you can hear me. Hello?
Yes, we are hearing. Please continue.
Thank you. Father God, everlasting Master, we give you glory, we give you honor for the goodness of mercy and the faithfulness of our life. This, for Jehovah God, is a season that you can come with thanksgiving, as we say that it has been a journey, and here we are now, seeing life because you've made it possible. I want to thank you, O God, for the vision that you've given the leaders of this outfit, that Father, for this day, there's no sleeping but planning for how that can work together as a family and be able to glorify Him. That our lives may be able to transform, that we may have testimony of the goodness that is done for us. Thank you, O God. Continue to give our leaders wisdom as they continue to plan for Mulembe Unified. I want to thank you because of our facilitator, O God. Thank you for the great experience that we had. Even as you pour us into us, O God, may you open our inner ears and eyes, that we may be able to perceive that which is trying to impress upon our hearts, that we may be able to keep us and run with it to position and with our love and joy in your mighty name. I want to thank you for each one of us that is attending this training since Monday, and even the ones that are yet to join us, oh God. We are a family. I pray that it has just of each of the members that are registered here, that we may come and receive of this good news that are coming our way at this particular time, oh God. Thank you for making it possible for us, oh God, to be able to receive that report. Okay, so there's situation and condition concerning us as members of Mulembe Unified, every situation concerning us, oh God, that you're going to take us. That you're going to lead us and to guide us, each one of us in our small spaces, that when we come together as a team, it shall be a great breakthrough that we shall have done in our life. I thank you for everything. I pray this first of all, we need it first by your grace, and soon it again, oh God, we shall do your will. Thank you because you are able, and it's in Jesus' name.
Amen. Thank you so much, Susan. Guys, see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Good night, everyone.
Thanks,
Good
everybody.
night.